Ni mzuri tueleze, kwa sababu ile mpango ilikuwa pale ni ya kuua mimi. Kwa sababu ile kijana moja alikuja na ile chuma, alikuwa ananitafuta, akagonga kijana moja ambaye alinizuilia, na hiyo chuma ingenigonga singetoka hapo. Na tumekuja kujua ilikuwa ni mpango ya serikali, watafute vijana wa Kikuyu, wawatume waue Rigathi Gachagua, alafu wawashike wapeleke kotini, waseme ni Mkikuyu ameua nani. Ni njia tu ya kutupiganisha. Hapo walikuwa wamepanga mikutano yote, nikienda wanatafuta vijana wa Kikuyu wale hawana kazi, wanapewa pesa, wanakuja wanafuruga mkutano, alafu vijana wetu wanapigana na hawa, alafu sasa rais na watu yake wanacheka pale, wanasema hii wa Kikuyu wanafanya nini? Sisi tungetaka tuseme, tafadhali hii jamii iheshimiwe. Sisi tulikupatia kura ukakuwa rais. Hata kama hutaki kutufanyia kazi, hata kama hutaki kutusaidia, wacha kupiganisha watu wetu. Wachana na sisi tukae vile tuko. Na mimi nataka kuomba vijana wetu, tafadhali msitumike kupiga ndugu yako. Msitumike kupiga dada yako. Mimi najua hamuna kazi, ni kweli, lakini msipewe pesa kwenda kutoa fujo. Na hii maneno yote tunaelewa ile naendelea ni ya kupiganisha hii jamii. Wamepiganisha viongozi, sasa walikuwa wanataka kupiganisha vijana. Kwa hivyo tujihadhari, tusitumiwe vibaya. And I would like to ask the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kaja. He's a man from here, mtu hapa nyumbani. Wewe unajua hao watu walitupiga. Picha zao ziko. Most of them have criminal records. Why are you not arresting them and taking them to court? We know, of course, because walipangwa na serikali. Lakini siku moja Bwana Kaja utajibu hiyo swali. One day. These people who attacked innocent people, wakatuumiza, wakaumiza wananchi, wanazurula kila pahali na wanajulikana. Alafu mnakuja kushika Karongo Dhang'wa, Peter Mwathi, watu ambaye hawahusiki. Wale walipigwa na wale waliwapiga wanaendelea kutembea. And we know ilikuwa ni mpango atimtumie wa Kikuyu kupiga wa Kikuyu, ndio rais na watu yake pale wacheke kusema hii ni wa Kikuyu wanapigana. This community has been misused and it's okay. But let me say this, because I have seen a lot of analysts, a lot of commentators trying to come up with many theories about the people of this region called Mount Kenya. Let me help you.
Yes, a very good evening wherever you are following. This is Africa 24 political discussion, and I can see we have a lot of people tuning in into tonight's episode. And of course, where are you following us from? Because you know we are live in Africa 24. If you are following us through Facebook, you know we are also live through Facebook Africa 24. And if you are following us through our sister station, then you can follow us in the Africa 24 YouTube channel. My name is Boniface, and we are going to discuss all this in the next few hours. And the question that we are asking is, do you think Gachagua will clinch 2027 general elections? Because he is trying very hard so that he can win 2027. You saw today he met with lower representative in Kisii County, that is from Kisii County, in his home Mathira constituency. He has been doing this. He has been meeting several members of parliament from his region, and also meeting members of county assemblies from all parts of the mountain. And also you have seen how he has extended his now regime to the Kisii County. Do you think Gachagua will clinch that 2027 general election? Because he's saying, God willing, he is going to be the next president of the Republic of Kenya. That is 2027. That is the former deputy president. That is the impeached DP Rigathi Gachagua. But you have seen how the president, that is his former boss, how he has been saying that 2027 they should relax and wait for 2032 because they are going to win 2027. The president, when he was addressing the congregations in part of Western Kenya. He's also in Western Kenya, where he's being accompanied by several people, and they are saying that it is high time to support the Kenya Kwanza government. You heard how the Kotu boss, Francis Atwoli, Francis has been giving controversial statements. You remember in 2022 when he was saying that 2022 William Ruto will not become the president of the Republic of Kenya. But after that, President William Ruto won. Now he's supporting the government, saying that they should now focus on supporting the Kenya Kwanza government because that is the government that now has future for Kenyans. You have also seen the broad-based government, how broad-based government is now turning into Kenya Kwanza government. You remember the likes of Alias and Joe, the likes of Junet Mohammed, they formed the government after the Gen Z protest whereby they were complaining about the finance bill. Now they formed the government. After forming the government, now they are supporting what the government is doing. Kenya Kwanza government is one of the governments that Kenyans have complained for. The Kenyans have not trust for the Kenya Kwanza government, but you hear some of the leaders are supporting. But also the president, when he's addressing some of the press, he's saying that he has the future, he has the right ambition for the Kenya. So Kenyans should support him. But also you have seen the mountain is also fighting each other. Kimani, Ichung'Wah, Rigathi Gachagua, the likes of Karungwa Mbarungwa, the likes of Gathoni Muchomba, Didi Nyoro, they are also there. They are fighting for the mountain. Mount Kenya Kingpin is still being questioned. And who is going to be the next Mount Kenya Kingpin? Who is going to be the next Mount Kenya Kingpin? Here is Rigathi Gachagua when he was speaking in one of the press conference. I don't know, he has been saying that he will reveal some of the top secrets in the government. He is going to make sure that the government delivers the manifesto that it gave to the Kenyans.
Koguo twathondeka ni ngumwira ni ngamura tuguthondeka nyumba itu tuguthondeka nyumba njega ya itungati itangendia ruriri itangikunyanira ruriri tariu ucio mujumbe umwe wa guku atwendiria kiheo tenda ya kwendia ikingi cia thitima wa Kenya Power akendia ruriri akendia ciana citu akianirira ciana citu akiuga ati ni mikora Koguo nĩ mwĩre atĩrĩrĩ mũtino ũrĩa mũnene twĩ naguo ta nyũmba ya Gĩkũyũ na Mũmbi nĩ atĩ twathurire kunda ngũtũme cia William Ruto tũkũnia andũ a kwendia rũrĩrĩ nda yao na hau nĩho andũ aitũ ona tũgĩcenjagia atongoria aya angĩ hau nĩho ndamũthaitha mũkandeithia twĩkĩre kabirũ mundu tumuchunguze wega nyina no wa Ngiru ndikano wachwa ithe no wa CMA kano wa jama ya rume ni ari karekodi ga gukunyanira murwa nyina tondu hau niho turagwiriire na bungi acio othe ti anyu gutirira makamurutira acio ni abungi a Ruto koguo riu mumenye muri inywiki na Ngai witu no kahinda kanini ka miaka iri na nuthu twicariria atongoria ega atongoria makurugamirira andu atongoria makuhe wanjuku gitio atongoria makwenda andu wao nigetha kuhote guikarana kwagirire nikimalizia niseme mimi naona historia inajirudia. History is repeating itself. Wale watu ya rika yangu wale over 50 wanajua wakati ya Moi tulikuwa na shida. Moi akaharibu uchumi, akaharibu biashara za watu wetu, akafuta watu wetu kazi, akatuangaisha. Tukaanza kumkataa. Ndio atuangaishe kwa sababu tumemkataa, akatafuta kijana aunde kundi haramu ya kuja kunyanyasa akina mama. Hiyo kikundi ikaumiza wamama, ikaumiza watoto, ikaumiza wafanyabiashara, ikaletea kila mtu shida katika area hii. Sasa naona huyu rais wetu amerudia tu hapo. Ametuharibia uchumi, ametuharibia biashara, watu wamemkataa. ndio atuangaishe. Amefufua ile kikundi haramu ilikuwa nasumbua kina mama. Mimi nimwambie hiyo maneno ni mbaya, na watu ya area hii hawezi kubali, na hiyo kikundi iliumiza watu wetu, na ukiilete watu wetu watakuchukia zaidi kuliko vile walikuwa wamekuchukia. Hiyo maneno tungetaka ikome, ni maneno ambaye hawezi kubalika katika eneo hili. Gire kia nigetha ndigire hau nigetha ndimwire nituguikara tuyukaga. Nimeambiwa hapo Laikipia North kuna watu wamekuwa abducted, mtu anaitwa Simon Mutite. Hiyo maneno ya abduction ni maneno mbaya, na ni maneno ya kukosea wa Kenya heshima. Tungetaka kuambia serikali tuwachane na hiyo maneno. Hakuna haja tuumize watoto wetu, hata kama wako na maoni tofauti, because Kenya is a democratic country, na hakuna haja ya kuteka watoto nyara, kuwateka nyara kwa sababu wanaongea hii wanaongea ile. So hata hapa Laikipia.
Yes, that is Gachagua is saying that there is no need to abduct Kenyans. Let's follow to the constitution. Let's adhere to what the constitution says when it comes to Kenyans rules. And of course, the mountain has been spitting a lot of it when it comes to the politics of 2027. You see, Gachagua, the loyal friends of Gachagua, the likes of Gathoni Wamushomba, the likes of Kimani Ichung'Wah, the likes of, but you know, Kimani Ichung'Wah is in the government. Today we were saying that President Ruto will lead the government for the next few years. So they have trust with the president. You see, but when you go to the Laikipia, you know, in Laikipia we have the likes of Ketu Aruguru. Ketu Aruguru is one of the members who are very loyal to Gachagua, and she is one of the close members who has been supporting Gachagua after he was impeached. So she is saying that they will make sure that they will support Gachagua when it comes to 2027. But what we are asking is, do you really think that Gachagua will be the next kingpin of the mountain? Are you sure that Gachagua, do you believe that Gachagua will be the next kingpin of the mountain? Because you know, a lot of things are being questioned about the Mount Kenya and how the unity has been restored in the region. And who is going to be the next kingpin of mountain? Because you know, after the impeachment, he's now speaking and he is spitting facts. You remember during the time when the motion of impeachment was tabled, Gachagua went to Mombasa using passenger aeroplane, whereby Kenyans questioned, why do you have the DP going on through this humiliation? But same situation that we are seeing. It is what President William Ruto go, and he underwent during the second term of the Jubilee government. So he is still the one that Kenyans witnessed during the 2018, 2019, 2020, when there was a conflict between the fourth and also the president now, William Ruto. Who is going to be the next kingpin? You can join us through the comment section there, through our Facebook there. If you're following us through Facebook, make sure you go to Afrique24. That is our YouTube channel, Afrique24. You like there, comment, and subscribe. That is the support that you can give us just subscribing to Afrique24, because every day we have this political discussion here, trying to discuss with Kenyans and try and enlighten Kenyans on what is happening when it comes to matters concerning politics, and get to know what is happening all over the world when it comes to matters concerning politics, sports, and also business. We unlock stories from all over the world here in Afrique24. So that is Gachagua, and he is one of the members who are fighting hard to win the mountain. The mountain is still shaky, and you have seen today how Kimani Ichung'Wah said that the president will continue even in 2027. And we also heard the president saying that he is not fearing any political leader. Let's meet on ballot 2027. That is what the president was saying the other day. Let's meet on ballot 2027.
Ile vipengele zote za hiyo sheria, hiyo regulation. Huyu waziri wakati alifanyiwa vetting alisema hiyo regulation atafikisha bunge inside. Kwanza karibu inakamilika, tumetangaza ingine 2,000 hapo Kakamega. Hapa Mumias tumepata ekari 17 hapa. Tunatangaza manyumba 2,000. Tutahitaji vijana wa Mumias karibu 3,000 wa kufanya hiyo kazi. Sasa mimi nataka niulize nyinyi, mnasema nisimamishe hiyo kazi isiendelee? Iendelee ama isiendelee? Ati mjumbe wenu anasema nisimamishe. Salasia. Wewe sasa wewe uko na kazi. Hawa watu wamekuajiri kazi. Alafu wewe utaki hawa hata na wao wapate kazi. Hiyo ni ungwana kweli? Hapana, ikai namna hiyo mheshimiwa. Kwa sababu wewe uko na kazi, wacha tupange vile hawa walikupigia kura pia na wao wapate nini? Yes, that's how it works, my friends. Sisi kama viongozi tusipotoshe wananchi. A country cannot be changed, cannot be transformed by populist politics. Huyu ni kijana mzuri. Huyu Salasia hana shida. Huyu nitamsaidia, unajua ni pange mpaka atashika laini. Unajua ni kijana mzuri Msione na mnyorosha tu kidogo ndio ajue vile tu. But he's a good young man. Si namna hiyo? Unajua experience naye ni kitu mzuri. So tutasaidiana. Anajua kutetea, anaongea kabisa kutetea. Lakini saa zingine anapitisha kidogo, nitamweka laini halafu. Si ndio? So nataka tushirikiane. Na nataka niwaombe viongozi ama namna gani jameni? Kakamega tunaelewana? Na msiwe na wasiwasi, hii siasa mingi inaendelea Kenya itafika mwisho yake. Kwa sababu si nyinyi ndio mtaweka mtihani. Si nyinyi ndio mtapitisha nani amefanya kazi nani hajafanya. Hawa watu ya makelele hii wanasumbua, wanapiga makelele sijui mitandao wapi. Hawa watu wako na kazi ngumu sana. Kushindana na mimi, wako na kazi ngumu. Wako na kibarua kubwa sana. Na bado mimi napanga tu kazi. Siku yenye tunaangaliana ati siasa kwa maneno. Sasa mimi nawaulize watu wa Kakamega. Hawa watu wanajua vile hii mpango ya miwa inapangwa? Wanajua? Hata wanajua Mumias iko wapi? Mumesikia wakiongea mambo ya barabara? Mumesikia mkiongea mambo ya stima? Mumesikia mkiongea chochote? Si mambo yao ni kuchora tu kwa internet na kuzunguka na fitina. Watu tawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema. So, lakini haijafika siku hiyo. Saa hii tupange mambo ya maendeleo ama namna gani? Ndio kesho. Sikizeni watu wa Kakamega. Kesho niko na baraza la mawaziri hapa Kakamega. Tupange mambo ya Kenya. Tukimaliza saa 8 mimi naenda pale Shinyalu. Kwa sababu tunahitaji kuunganisha stima kwa watu zaidi hapa Kakamega County. Na serikali ya Kenya tumetoa bilioni 2.6 kuunganisha wananchi 33,000 wapya kwa mambo ya stima. Watu 36,000 na 33,000 wapya kwa huduma ya stima. Kesho mimi naanzisha hiyo kazi ya hapa Kakamega. Ndio tupeleke stima kwa nyumba ya wananchi wengi zaidi. Mimi nitarudi hapa. Tena nitakuwa hapa Wednesday. Kwa sababu kuna mambo ya hospitali niliahidi watu wa Kuzeo. Mimi nitakuwa hapa tena. Taenda Busia, niko na kazi ya Busia. Kwa sababu pale tunajenga ile export processing zone 5 ambayo tunajenga Kenya, tunajenga moja hapa Busia. Mimi naenda kuiangalia, nipange mambo ya watu ya Busia, kuna mambo ya maji pale Busia, kuna mambo ingine ya soko kule Busia, kuna mambo ingine tunasukumana. We must change this.
Yes, that is the President of the Republic of Kenya. Alikuwa anasema 2027 is going to win. 2027 is going to win very early in the morning. That is what he was passing the message to the Gachagua during the conference that was held in Kakamega. And of course, he's fighting hard, of course, to perform. You have a few years to 2027. So 2027 is going to be a tough year for those who are going to vote. So make sure you vote for your leader. I have seen Jeremiah, Alex, and also Alvin Omondi. I want to start with Alvin Omondi. Alvin Omondi, welcome to Africa 24. And of course, I just want to ask you this question. Who do you think is the perfect person to replace Gachagua after he was impeached? Now we are having the fight for the mountain kingpin. Who do you think is the perfect person to be the Mount Kenya representative? Because many leaders are now sprouting on the urge to represent the mountain.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Bon. I'm yet not convinced on who is the best replacement for Gachagua. Because these people, their interest is just like any others. You'll bring another person to replace Gachagua. But you see, there is the template that is the master, the president. So if you don't dance to his tune, you are likely not to be the perfect candidate. So for me, I would look at that candidate being perfect in the sense that he is representing the interests, as having the interests of Wananchi. But in the event you dance to a master that has lost touch with the people, I don't think you're a perfect candidate. So at the moment, I am not convinced. But politically, there are people that would be perfect in the eyes of the president. But as a citizen, I have not seen.
Yes, that is helping. And of course, welcome to Africa 24. I am a good friend. Alex, of course, you are one of ours here in Africa 24. You have seen how Kimani Ichung'Wah today roared in front of William Ruto. He's saying that the president will reign for the next few years. So he is sure that the president is going to win in 2027. So I'm just asking you, Alex, you saw what Kimani Ichung'Wah said. And of course, this fight for the mountain is still there. And Kikuyus have not even decided on who is going to be their leader in 2027. Maybe Kimani Ichung'Wah is fighting Gachagua indirectly.
Good evening to you, Bonnie, and to you, Jeremiah and Alvin, and I'm happy to see you guys here on the show, and I'm excited to hear what the panelists on the show tonight have to say. So, for the Mount Kenya region, I don't really like to refer to people as tribal kingpins, and I like to see people as nationalists, and but if they really for real, if they need the Mount Kenya kingpin, if they really need it so badly, I would forward the name of the governor for Murang'a, Irungu Kang'ata. And if everyone, even the people on the panelists and those ones who are watching, if we go check his manifesto on the internet and see the works he's doing in Murang'a, then you will see that he's a governor who is doing his work with due diligence and he's delivering. If you go check the projects in Murang'a is very much way ahead. Even there's a person, I forgot the name. He is doing Vampire Diaries, and he was showcasing how the primary schools in Murang'a are way ahead. And if you look at places like Bomet, you see that the school are still old version. So Irungu Kang'ata is somebody who can deliver. So if the people of the mountain truly need a kingpin, they have to consider Irungu Kang'ata, and he's on a trajectory to goodness in politics. So that's what I can say.
Yes, Jeremiah, why do you think Kikuyus are fighting against each other?
Thanks, Bon, Alex, and Alvin. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
And Alvin, we share the same last name, and then you're speaking like a pilot. I heard your voice, and it sounded like I'm in an aeroplane, waiting. I'm listening to the pilot announcing the
Maybe it's in
takeoff.
one. Maybe it's in one.
Eh?
Maybe it's in one.
Maybe he's one. I don't know. But anyway, nice meeting you guys. Bon, me, I don't really have an opinion as such as far as the kingpinship of the Mount Kenya goes. I think they are spoiled for choice. They have very many well-deserving people. And you're asking that why are they fighting? Power abhors a vacuum. Power abhors a vacuum. And right now, there is almost like a vacuum in the Mount Kenya leadership. And yeah, everyone is trying to fill that vacuum. Everyone is trying to jostle for that position. But the guys that the names they're throwing around, somebody like Irungu Kangata is a very good person. He's a good leader, but I don't think that I would bundle him into that kingpinship discussion at this moment. I think he's still young in politics. People like Ichung'Wah, people like Nandindi Nyoro, they are not very seasoned politicians. So I do not think that they would really, so to speak, fit the bill. Kingship needs a bit of experience, right? In politics, somebody who knows how to play the political game. And if I was to maybe just put my 2 cents, I would say they need to look for somebody slightly more mature in politics. Kenyan politics is very complex, and you could be very good as a leader, but for some reason you just don't succeed in leading a constituency like a whole tribe or something. And Alex, I understand where you're coming from, but tribalism is not in itself a bad thing. Negative tribalism is a bad thing. Positive tribalism, where we appreciate our diversity in language, in culture, in behavior, and all, is actually a good thing. That's what makes Kenya what it is. So I would not say, like you're saying, Alex, that you don't want to think of, the kingship, tribal kingpins and things like that. I think it's a good thing, in my opinion. We just have to make sure that we are playing it right, so that it doesn't become negative ethnicity, but we make it come out as a positive, ethnicity, which is, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. So for now, Mimi, Murima leadership, I leave it open. I'll leave it open. I have no opinion. But one thing I know for sure is that it won't be Gachagua. Those people don't like him. The powers behind the politics, the transcenturies, the Muranga, mafia, all of those guys, the money people, they would not want him. He's not good for business. So I don't think they will even allow him to get into that space when push come to shove. So I'm sure it's not going to be him. I just don't know who it is going to be, and I have no opinion at the moment.
Yes, that is Jeremiah, and I want just to pose this question to Jeremiah. Why do you think, why are you underrating Gachagua? Because maybe he has the best strategy for 2027. I have seen him meeting some of the grassroots members of county assemblies from Kikuyu, and today I saw him meeting members of county assemblies from Kisii. So he's trying to capture the entire nation from the bottom. So maybe by 2027 you will be already you'll be discussed by Kenyans. You'll be ready to be given this seat by the Kenyans. Do you think that Gachagua has the best strategy for 2027?
Bon, I don't know what you mean when you say strategy. I don't think Gachagua has a strategy to do anything, right? His strategy is just to consolidate the Murima vote, but the way he's going about it is not the right way, right? He can meet people from all. You think there is a Kisii who will vote for Gachagua for president? You're telling me that he was in Kisii meeting MCSG, what? Do you think there is a Kisii in his right mind who would wake up in the morning to go and vote for Gachagua for president, regardless of who Gachagua is running against? I don't think that happening. But with that said, when you are saying all those things you're saying, Bon, bear in mind that Gachagua legally cannot vie for an elective post for the next 10 years. Do you know that? Because he was impeached. So, yeah, he cannot run, he will not qualify. So, whatever he will do, he will be a kingmaker. He's not going to be the king. He will be a kingmaker, come what may, unless through some miracle his case gets dropped or whatever happens. But legally, as it stands, as you're speaking, he cannot vie for an elective or any public office. He cannot hold any public office for that matter. When you say strategy, I'm scratching my head wondering what strategy are you talking about? I don't see him having any strategy. I wonder which strategy you see in his efforts. I don't know. Mimi sioni.
Hiyo ameanza ya kuita ma MCAs. Sasa ataenda Mombasa, aende Ukambani, aende Central, Nyanza, awaite
They
wote
will
ndio
eat his
awalete
money.
pamoja.
They
Can I
will
say
eat his
something?
money. That is okay. Even me, if he comes, and I know that after he leaves, he's giving me 5 million. Why not? I'll go. I will go, but I will not vote for him. Just like I've asked you very simplistically, do you think there's a Kisii in his right mind who will wake up assuming that Gachagua is on the ballot for president? A Kisii who will wake up in Nyamira, aamke asubuhi na hiyo baridi aende apigie Gachagua kura kuwe president? Hey, that's a long shot.
Yeah, Alex, you can respond.
Oh yes, okay, I agree with what Jeremiah is saying. Bonnie speaking as somebody who comes from there. If you see Bonnie, if you are targeting the votes of Kisii Bonnie, and I think you're in for a rude shock because the voter turnout is not very high. People don't vote there compared to places like the mountain. If you look at the mountain, the voter turnout is very high. People come out and they speak one voice. Where I'm from, like you find Bonnie, the MP who won, let's say in my constituency, you find like there are more than 100,000 registered voters, but you find the MP won by 20,000 votes. So that shows you the voter turnout in Kisii is not very high. So if you're banking on getting votes, you shouldn't focus so much on Kisii because people there don't turn out largely to vote. And even if I look at areas like in Nyanza, I don't think Rigathi can penetrate well in Nyanza. I think he can do it. He can penetrate the areas of Mount Kenya, and also as Jeremiah said, Rigathi cannot be he cannot be in a position to start to vie for an elective post because even if in 2027 he tries, the judiciary will stop him from running. So the best he can do is just to align himself with a political leader, and he can try to be in the government, but let's say like as a deep state TV. So that's what he can do. But Rigathi has a long way to go in politics. But the thing which I notice about him is sometimes he's a darling because there are videos on the internet which can back what I'm about to say. If you There are places in Kajiado and those areas of Rift Valley where Rigathi is loved as a darling because there are some of the he has some allies over there who campaign for him, and people are championing for him because they see him as a truthful man. But I think he still has a long way to go in politics. So the question which I would also pose for the people here on the panel is, by him aligning with Kalonzo, does he strengthen Kalonzo's chance of getting the presidency?
Yes, Gachagua marriage with Kalonzo. Those are some of the rumors that they want to join together in 2027. The Eastern region want to merge with the Central and the Mount Kenya region. And that is one of the statements that was said by one of the leaders And of course, the loyal followers of Gachagua, when they had one of the meetings in Makueni last year, and that is Gathoni Wamuchomba. I want us to listen to what, but by the way, she said that there is no harm if the Kikuyu region will merge with the Eastern region, because the Eastern region has been misused, it has been used and dumped. So it is that time now they come together, the Kikuyus and the Kamba region, to clinch, for example, presidential seats in 2027. So before I ask Jeremiah for the response, I want us to let's listen to what Gathoni said the last.
Huko tumesema hatutaki huko tumesema hatutaki hiyo maneno. Sisi tunataka tupatiwe chakula ya rais, chumvi ya rais, tupatiwe mangunia ya heshima, tupatiwe ndoo za maziwa, kula za maziwa, tulime maziwa. Hiyo maneno ya kupatiwa chanjo kutoka sijui nchi zingine zikuja zituharibie livestock zetu, sisi tumekataa. Nyinyi mko na nini na ng'ombe huku? Mko na mbuzi? Hata punda nimeona zinyingi kwa barabara. Mnataka zipatiwe hiyo chanjo? Hebu niambieni, mnataka chanjo? Hata nyinyi mmekataa? Basi jipigieni makofi, nyinyi ni watu wazuri. Your Excellency, my Deputy President, the second Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Bwana Rigathi Gachagua, nilikuwa nimefika hapa kwa constituency nyingine na hapa chini. Kwa hivyo hapa Makueni mimi si mgeni. Na nikaambia hao majamaa wetu hawa wa Ukambani, sijui kwa nini wanaendanga bahari kupiga watu wakati wa kupiga kura. Sijui ni kwa nini wanadanganywa. Wanaenda wanatuacha kwa hii mlima. Sisi kwetu ni pale kwa ile mlima. Si kwetu ni Nova. Kwetu Nova. Wanatuacha hapa. Wanaenda wanadanganywa mpaka kule kwa Lake Victoria. Walifanya hivyo 2013 wakadanganywa. 2022 wakadanganywa. Sasa mtakuwa watu wa kudanganywa kila wakati na mnatuachaga hapa. Sasa tumeamua 2027 akiangai hamutadanganywa. Ni ukweli ama si ukweli? Wangapi wanasema ni ukweli, hamutadanganywa tena? 2027 sisi tunataka tuungane, tufanye timu moja, goal moja, na lazima tutascore. Gathoni Wamuchomba akiwa hapo, Karongo Wadhangu akiwa hapo, Rigathi Gachagua akiwa hapo, Mseneta Maanzo akiwa hapo, tutasonga na tutaingiza goal, na tutaacha hao watu wanatuita mapepo washindwe na mapepo yao katika jina la Yesu. Niwaulize swali. Ni vibaya tukiungana Wakamba na Wakikuyu? Ni vibaya mkiingia katika Gema Association? Ni vibaya tukisukuma mmoja wenyu hata yeye aingie State House aonje chai ya State House? Mtatusaidia, tusaidiane. Mtatuweka huko ndani kwa hiyo mpangilio. Wangapi wangetaka tuende timu moja nione? Kwisha maneno. Mkiwa na harambee hapa mtuite, tutakuja. Sisi tuko na mali, tutaleta. Mkitaka kuoa wasichana wetu mkuje haraka. Kabla hatujamalizwa na pombe baya kule kwetu. Mkuje mchukue wale wasichana wazuri. Nyinyi vijana mkitaka kupata kazi kule kwetu mkuje. Tuko na ng'ombe na tuko na boma nyingi, tutawapatia kibarua. Na nyinyi mtutapatie shamba huku, naona huku shamba ni kubwa sana. Mimi nipate kidogo, Rigathi Gachagua kidogo ajenge boma, tuwe tunakuja hapa kuiba mugithi. Sio ni mzuri? Mimi nataka tushikiliane, tupatane. Ya mwisho, mimi ni mama. Na mimi kama mama ninaendelea kutetea wamama ambao wako na haki ya kujifungua kama vile nilijifungua. Na tuwezi kuwa ya kwamba kazi yetu ni kutoa tax katika serikali yetu. Lakini ikifika wakati wa mama kujifungua, anateswa huku. Akienda kupata mtoto anaambiwa sijui 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 shift, haifanyi kazi. Kwetu tunaita shifo. Hata tunaita nini? Shifo hafanyi kazi wamama wanapojifungua. Mimi natetea wamama wote wa Kenya. Nasema ni haki for a mother to give birth. It is a right enshrined in the Constitution of Kenya. Na lazima mama ambaye anajifungua apatiwe heshima, apatiwe haki yake, na apatiwe dignity yake. Wamama ho! Hebu mseme kwa nguvu kwa sababu nyinyi ndio mnajua vile nasema. Wamama hai! Wamama hai! Wamama wa Kenya wapatiwe nafasi wajifungue in dignity and in respect. Sio maneno ya kwenda kuambiwa ati hakuna gloves, hakuna nini na mtoto anataka kutoka. Na mtoto
Yes, that is Gachagua Mushomba. You know, she was saying that they will get into Kambani and they will mingle with the Kamba community so that they can win 2027 general elections. That is what she was saying when she was in Ukambani. So I want just to ask you, Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I know you have listened to what she said. What do you have to say about Gachagua Mushomba?
Just two questions. First question: how many votes does Ukambani hold? I'm assuming all of them vote for one person. How many votes do you get from Ukambani? Wapatie tu yote, wapatie tu hiyo kura yote ya Ukambani yote, patia hiyo grouping ya Gachagua.
Yeah? Statistically, I have no exact data for Ukambani.
Two, I don't know how much sway Gachagua Mushomba has in shaping political discourse in the mountain. She might be very comfortable with Gachagua now, but when the time comes, because like I told you, Gachagua will not be on the ballot. He will pop someone. When the time comes that now the ballot, the ballot papers are going to be printed and who is going to be there, who is not going to be there. And Gathoni sees that Gachagua is not going to be there. What do you think she's going to do to save her own political life? That is the second question. The third, you see, political, rallies like that where they were speaking, you can really say anything and everything you want under the sun. But in practicality, in practice, why do you think Kambas would follow Kalonzo to run with, if Kalonzo is running hypothetically with Gachagua? That's a losing combination there from the get-go. Why do you think Kambas would want to follow a losing team? There are very many heavyweight Kamba politicians who, if Kalonzo makes the mistake of going with Gachagua, they will not follow. Kina Mudama, right? Kina the boss. Those are the people who shape opinions in Kamba politics, and those are not people who are comfortable with Gachagua. So for me, in my own simple analysis, sahi kuongea, they can say that, but when now people start drawing coalitions that would work, I think Kalonzo will be very quick to drop Gachagua as a hot potato. I don't see any value that Gachagua will bring for him, considering that Gachagua will not be there's no possibility of Gachagua being on any ballot for anything. So if he goes with Gachagua, Gachagua is going to push somebody else down his throat. He will align with Gachagua, then Gachagua tells him, lakini sasa unajua Kalonzo, unaona sasa mimi legally mimi siwezi simama, sasa mimi nataka ufanye aje, wewe chukua ukajamaa ndo muingie na yeye. So hiyo ni kama wewe uende ukatea msichana akwambie, lakini unajua jamaa, unajua iko hivi, mimi kuna vile hatuize na wewe, lakini chukua kaka msichana kingine ndo mwende na yeye na ni yeye ndo unemkata. I don't see Kalonzo making that mistake of going with Gachagua only for Gachagua to turn around and propose for him somebody else to run with, because Gachagua can't be on the ballot legally. Yeah. So for me, so they can say all that in rallies, but I think when the time comes when people start forming coalition, and this is going to start fairly early, by around June mwaka tu hapa tunaanza kukuwa na clear indications of where everyone is going. By January next year, January 2026, we shall have known exactly where everything stands. Tutakuwa tumejua kama baba ameenda AU ama amerudi na ameshapima ground akajua where he's going. Waluya watakuwa wamedecide where are they going. Mulembe Nation watakuwa wamejua where they going. So watch this space. By around mid towards 3/4 of this year, at least tutakuwa tunaanza kuona indications of where things are going. But I can bank it that I don't see Kalonzo going with Gachagua beyond just all this political, rally that they make noise around. Ikifika ile wakati, I think he will actually even distance himself from Gachagua to some extent. That is my analysis.
Yes, thank you so much, Jeremiah. And of course, you have given your best submission when it comes to Gachagua marriage with the Kalonzo Musyoka. Buru Jeff, karibu sana Freak 24. And I'm very sure that you have listened to what Gathoni Wamushomba she was saying, that the mountain might come close to Ukambani so that they can clinch 2027 general election. Do you really believe that the mountain can come together with Ukambani and win 2027 general elections, or the Kamba community will still follow the person who is from the region, and also they will see on what Kalonzo will decide before 2027? What is your take about Kalonzo and Gachagua marriage in politics?
Yes, Kimanzi, thank you so much for this opportunity. I just want to take you back a little bit. Remember, we were here before Gachagua was impeached. And there are some things I said that the president was about to make a grave mistake in as far as his political career is concerned. And many people felt that Gachagua is a nobody, he's an idiot, he doesn't have followers. And I told you people that behind Gachagua, there are people, and many people to that effect. Today, we have seen the president trying to sustain Mount Kenya, which has become very hard for him. He has brought in so many people just to try to see if they can seal the gap that was occupied by Gachagua. And to this far, he has not been able to do that. So what am I trying to say? Even now, I want to say that the analysis which has been given by Jeremiah is a wrong analysis. Gachagua is not just a nobody. It's not just a noisemaker. Gachagua is a mobilizer. Gachagua is a courageous politician and very strategic. It was because of him that the president got almost 90% of the Mount Kenya votes, even if the other side was being supported by the president, Uhuru Kenyatta. And I want to tell you, Kimanzi, that in central Kenya regions, the registered voters are 6.5 million, almost 7 million, without counting the Mount Kenya people who are scattered elsewhere. So we are banking on around 7 million, that if these people are to vote, they just need around 3 million or less to make someone a president. And that's why Mutahi Gunyi talked of the tyranny of numbers. And if the constitution will not change to remain the same in 2027, I can tell you, the person who will be supported by Gachagua will become the president of Kenya. That is holding other factors constant. Assuming that there will be no rigging, the person who will be supported by Gachagua and Mount Kenya will become the president of Kenya. You can put that in the bank and withdraw in 2027 so that you may remember what I told you. I want to also to remind you that the former
disappeared, but he was giving us one of best submission when it comes to Gachagua. But we hope that network will be back. I have seen network problems still, but the show must continue. He was telling us more about Gachagua. Jeremiah, you listened to what Buru said before he just disappeared?
Buru is
here. Buru is here.
Let him finish.
Sorry.
Buru,
Sorry.
finish.
My internet was somehow interrupted. So I was saying, remember William Ruto was also trying to woo the former president Uhuru Kenyatta to be in his camp. But basing on the statements that the president has been making of late, it clearly indicates that he has also refused to board. So in Mount Kenya, I can tell you without fear of contradiction that William Ruto has lost the ground. And the moment the people of Mount Kenya reject you, I can tell you for sure they don't go back. So William Ruto should bank on other regions to be re-elected in 2027, but not Mount Kenya. I have been on the ground, I've been listening to people, and I interact with so many people myself every day on a daily basis. And I can tell you, William Ruto was badly mistaken by dropping Gachagua. And I know by now he knows that he made a mistake. I want to say this, that it is true, according to the Constitution, the moment you have been impeached, you are supposed to wait at least for 10 years before you can contest. But remember, we have the Constitution. Even Gachagua becoming sick during the proceedings in Parliament, I think it was also technical because they'll go to court in due time, and they'll try to show that there was unfairness in the impeachment of the former Deputy President Gachagua. They will cite that he was not given chance to defend himself. They will also bring out the matters of bribery and corruption in the process. They will also cite the lack of proper public participation. And by that time, they will only be arguing that he should be given a chance to be in the ballot. However, even if he will not be in the ballot, right now he has been in a position to solidify Mount Kenya votes into one bucket. And that is what I am telling you, that whoever he is going to say, this is the person, the people of Mount Kenya will follow that person that will be appointed by Gachagua. All people have their culture, or they have their way of doing things. The Mount Kenya people don't follow two people at the same time. They always follow one person at a time. That is why no matter what William Ruto will try to do, no matter how many people you put in his cabinet from Central Kenya, it will not matter. It will not change the stand that the people of Mount Kenya has taken. So right now, and I'm not saying just for the sake of it, I'm talking this after critical observation, that the people of Mount Kenya are following everything that the former deputy president is telling them. They are solidly behind him. And if he decides to support Kalonzo Musyoka, then I can tell you there is a high possibility that Kalonzo Musyoka will become the president of Kenya, because it's a democratic process, and the person with the majority of votes becomes the president. And remember, William Ruto played a game of pata potea. Right now, he is not very sure that the former prime minister will support him in 2027. There is also a possibility that he will not. And also, you have seen so many people like Sifuna, like Babu Owino from that region. Many people in ODM, a good number of them are saying that in 2027, ODM should have a presidential candidate. Therefore, even if Baba says he's going to support Ruto, William Ruto is not assured of full support from the Baba's base. So I want you to know that Gachagua is a very serious threat to the re-election of William Ruto. Thank you so much, Kimanzi.
Yes, wonderful, 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 Jeburu. Jeremiah, you are responding to Jeff.
I like Jeff's submission, but I differ with it totally. And then also clarify to Jeff that I did not say that Gachagua would be a pushover. What I said is that it's too risky of a chance for somebody like Alonzo to align with Gachagua, only for Gachagua to tell him, Sasa, this is the person I want you to go with, because Mimi, I can't go with you, or legally, I can't go with you, so nakupatia huyu. Another pure, he can be given a dead weight, something he cannot pull. Why would you want to take that chance? And that's what I meant when I said that Kalonzo would not really have a reason to align with Gachagua to the ballot. With that said, Mburu, also I think where you are really mistaking, you are trying to insinuate that Gachagua has 100% of the central votes in his bag. I really differ with that. That if he says who, the whole, you are generally essentially saying that Gachagua is the kingpin of the Murima now, which I am yet to see if that is true. At this point, I don't think it is. You see, for Ruto, and also again, before I say what I want to say, Jeff, I think that you are trying to, and sorry to say this, I'm trying to be polite about it as much as I can. There is a sentiment against, Murima, that the Murima people feel entitled to the presidency, right? To the extent that if they don't support you, you cannot be president. And that is almost what you are saying, that you are saying whoever the central doesn't support can't be president. That is some really broad assumption there, but that is just what maybe, if you're not aware, every other Kenyan who is not from Murima feels that way about the Murima, that the Murima people feel like the presidency is theirs. It's their birthright, that no one else should go there except one of them or one through them. So I think there there is a bit of a problem. Now, what Ruto wants, okay? He doesn't need, he knows he's lost the Murima. You're very right about that. Murima wameenda, okay? What Ruto needs to do is get even 30% only from Murima. That's all he needs, right? Split the votes in a way that whoever is banking on Murima doesn't go run away with 100%. If Ruto gets 30% from Murima, he'll be home and dry. Yeah, and that's what he'll be fine. That's what he'll be doing as long as he can consolidate these other regions. Murima atawacha Murima ikue vile iko. He just makes sure that he gets that percentage. And let me tell you something also. Everybody wants to be in government, and the tactic that Ruto is using by appointing key influential people for Murima into his cabinet is not just for now. That is for tomorrow. Those people will not want to leave government just because they want, Gachagua to ascend to the presidency or whatever the case may be. Those Murima people who are in government, they'll want to stay in government again post 2027, and their best chance of staying there is going with the incumbent presidency. There's so many things that is going wrong with this administration, and I agree with you totally. This administration is probably going to go in history as the worst administration Kenya has had, since maybe the first 10 years of Moi. Yeah. But with that said, I think that it's not going to be easy for somebody to beat Ruto fair and square in the upcoming elections in 2027. And I say this with all confidence. Even if Baba came today and ran again, I don't see how he's going to beat Ruto. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's possible. But it is something that would really take a lot. And I don't see the political configurations now that would allow Ruto to lose very easily. The numbers that Ruto is playing at, whether Murima has 7 million votes or, like you're saying, 7 million plus. And of course, like I said, Ruto doesn't need all the 7 million. He just needs 30% maximum of that, yeah? Even if you take all those votes for Murema, I mentioned this before, the numbers that Ruto is playing at is once he has Baba with him, if Baba goes to the AU, yeah, his base will solidly stay with Ruto for some reason. And the reason is very, very simple. Right? He will keep Baba satisfied and keep his people satisfied the way he has done so far. If Baba doesn't make it to the AU, again, I said before, any presidency, their biggest threat to their leadership is an idle Raila, right? Ruto will do whatever it takes to keep Raila busy and keep him contained within the spheres of Kenyan politics. If he manages to do that, he has 90% of Luo, which will give him a very high percentage, 80% almost, 80 to 90% of the Western, right? Gives him 70 again to 80% of coast, right? Gives him a good 60, 70% of Nairobi. And of course, we know the Northeastern goes with the government of the day always. All those regions, uchukue hiyo 7 million ya Murima yote upatie mtu mmoja, there is no way they can still beat that combination of the rest of the country. So it is a numbers game. Ruto knows what he's playing at with these numbers. And I can tell you that I don't think outside of the Murima, Gachagua would be palatable to anyone else. I don't know. I know that in Luo Nyanza, where I have very good, pulse on the politics, is not palatable completely. And that includes even the Kisii Nyanza. And I really tend to believe that's the same situation in Western Kenya, right? So Gachagua, whatever he does, he can consolidate Murima, but I'm not very certain that the numbers in Murima is enough to overcome the rest of the numbers, like I've indicated. So I don't see a pathway for Gachagua winning. You're saying that the courts will listen to the case. That we know how the judiciary works, and you see all these things that they've started saying about Koome being impeached and all. Those might just turn out to be true, and even if she wasn't, playing with the courts to the benefit of the government will always be the safe bet for any judiciary leadership. Not to say that the executive will control them, but anytime there's a serious decision to be made, the judiciary will always be a little lenient on the side of the government. So hii kesi ya Gachagua inaweza enda tu endlessly forever, or it might go until too late in the day that he can't get on the ballot. Anything can happen, but I know that if the government doesn't want him to be on the ballot, which I know the government doesn't, he won't be on the ballot. So hatuwezi sema ati ataenda waseme sympathy and all. I don't see that happening. That's my submission.
Yes. Yes. Alex, you have something to respond?
Yes, Bonnie.
Alex, Guru, you have.
Bonnie, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So yes, kwanza habari yako Jeff, happy to see you. So before I give my remarks, I would like to ask Jeff a question. If you ask me, Jeff, I see Martha as a very, very good leader from the mountain. I see Martha as a nationalist. I see Martha as a person who can uphold the constitution if given the leadership. So why shouldn't Martha be the Mount Kenya kingpin?
You're asking a question?
Yes, to you, before I give my remarks.
Your analysis about her leadership is good. She's an iron lady. She's a very strong leader. She has the qualities of a good leader. But remember, political leadership is all about how many people can follow you. How good are you at mobilizing people so that they can support you? Apart from that, I want to remind you that there was a time Mother Karua was very, very popular in central Kenya. But she made a miscalculation after the post-election violence. She thought that because people were solidly behind her, that people cannot dump her. As I said, Mount Kenya people don't follow two people at the same time. So when she differed with the former President Mwai Kibaki, that was a miscalculation that she made, and she has never gone back to her former glory in politics. The same mistake that William Ruto did after differing with Rigathi Gachagua, whom people saw as their leader in Mount Kenya, and actually he was. So there is nothing William Ruto can do to save himself or to go back where he was, just like Mother Karua. There is nothing she can do to be loved again, to be followed again, and to be supported the way she used to be supported. Because to the people, she disappointed the people by disobeying or even revolting or rebelling against the person whom the people had voted for as their leader. That was the only mistake that she did. And I don't think she can go back to where she was. And she knows that. She knows that.
Okay, so I see Kimani will be back in a minute. So so let me give my submission on the
Yes.
on the story. The I see the problem which I think the problem which Kenyans are angry at Rigathi is that they see him as somebody who is not standing as a nationalist. You see, the deputy president and the president are seen as a symbol of national unity. And the reason why people from other regions are angry at Rigathi is because we feel like he's only standing to represent one region instead of standing as a nationalist. Because even if we might say Ruto is tribal, but he's not tribal by mouth. He's tribal by action. By action, I mean if you look at the most of the parastatals, he has hired the people from his community. But the problem which Kenyans have with Rigathi is they feel like Rigathi has stood as as a as a tribal kingpin representing only one area, which we did not even see with Kibaki or Uhuru coming out to claim themselves as the kingpins defending one community. So that's why I think Rigathi has missed. So he by him saying the Murima thing, by him saying that he has lost the support of many other communities. And also the thing which he spoke about the shareholding, I think that's where Rigathi went wrong and missed out on the people. Otherwise, I think he is growing in politics. He's growing in politics in areas like Kajiado and some bits of Rift Valley, and also he's the kingpin of Mount Kenya. And I support what Mburu you said, whereby you said no matter how many people the president is bringing back. Even I saw the recently amerudisha Kabogo ameleta Kabogo kwa government, and yet tukizungumza tu kweli bila kudanganyana, Kabogo is not liked by the people. Ama ni uongo Jeremiah? Kabogo is not liked by the people because if he was liked, the people of Kiambu wangekuwa wamempatia chance ingine ya kiti. So if and I support what you say, Jeremiah, he only needs 30%, but I believe for him to get that 30%, he has to do a bit better in terms of bringing people on his side. He has to mobilize the MPs, and some of the senators, hizo side the central wampigie kura. But we see what happened in 2027. We see whether the Gachagua effect will work. Back to you, Bonnie. There's a question here for you, Jeff.
Looks like Boni amelala.
Internet imefreeze kidogo, but there's a question.
By the way, we're very proud. Na ketu aruguru kumau kuraikipia.
Remain focused. Don't focus on the naysayers. And as I told you, my people wa Kakamega, Taifa Care is working and working miracles for many Kenyans. Watu ambao hawangeweza kujilipia bill za hospitali. Mimi kama mbunge nilikuwa nalipa shilingi 1,700 kwa Taifa Care. Mama kama huyu mama ameongea hapa, mkulima alikuwa nalipishwa shilingi 500. Sasa uko na nafasi kwa Social Health Insurance Fund ama Taifa Care. Mimi sababu mshahara yangu iko juu zaidi, nikatwe shilingi 27,500, 27,500, close to 20 times ile pesa nilikuwa nakatwa miaka miwili ilikuwa napita. But it is okay nikikatwa hiyo pesa na huyu mama mkulima na yeye alipe 300 ama 400 badala ya ile 500 alikuwa analipishwa ama 1,200 na apate huduma ya afya. That will be a good thing for us. Na sisi kama viongozi, we must be able to sacrifice on behalf of the people we represent. I want to encourage you, Your Excellency, perfect all these systems so that they work for the people of Kenya, ili tuwe yale mambo tuliwaahidi wananchi yanafanyika na yanatendeka. Mheshimiwa Rais, wakati ulisema mambo ni matatu na ukasema mkulima wa sukari atapata bonus, kuna wengine wengi walisema haiwezekani na wakasema hata wewe ni muongo. Sasa nataka niwaulize, bonus ndio hii imefika ama haijafika? Imefika, haijafika? Hiyo ndio tunaambiwa uongo. Mheshimiwa Rais, kama uongo ni kudanganya watu na unafanya, wewe sema na ufanye vile umefanyia watu wa Mumias na all the sugarcane farmers in Kenya. Pia Mheshimiwa Rais, ulituambia utadhibiti uchumi. And at a time when our country was on the blink of defaulting on debt, when the dollar was trading at 162 shillings, you told us you will first stabilize our economy, and you have done so, Your Excellency. But I must thank all these farmers. Vile waziri wetu wa kilimo ametuambia, Mheshimiwa Mutahi Kagwe, ni sababu ya juhudi za wakulima mukaweza kuzalisha sukari ya kutosha. Eti mwaka uliopita hatukuimport sukari kutumia shilingi kununua dollars, ili bei ya dola ikarudi chini. Sasa mkisikia dola Nairobi bei iko chini, sio kazi ya watu wengine, ni nyinyi wakulima ambao mnazalisha chakula. And we are not able to import food now. We are not importing sugar. We are producing enough sugar, enough even to export, kuuza nje, nchi za nje. Na Mheshimiwa Rais, nikushukuru sababu wakati ulituambia we focus on production and subsidies ya production ya fertilizer, ya seeds, mazao yake ndio tunaona leo. Nataka nikuambie Mheshimiwa Rais, usiwe na wasiwasi. Wewe sema na utende vile tunakujua. Wale wa kelele tuwaachie kelele. Kweli si kweli? Na Mheshimiwa Rais, mengi atasemwa. Mkulima aliye hapa, Governor Lusaka amewaambia, nafikiri Senator Boni Halwale, mkulima mwenye hapati bonus, mwenye hajauza miwa yake kwa hii factory, ako na nafasi kuzalisha miwa auze, ili next year apate bonus.
Okay, so I don't know whether there's a issue with the internet for Bonnie.
It has gone off again. Maybe Jeff, you can carry on.
I don't know whether it is my
Bonnie, is your internet okay?
Yes, Jeff, I think Jeff was answering before my network started misbehaving. Jeff, are you there? Jeff, are you there? Jeremiah, you have heard what Kimani Ichung'Wah is saying.
Jeremiah, you have
Jeremiah, you have heard what Kimani Ichung'Wah was saying before my network misbehaved. That is one of the members of Mount Kenya region who has really supported the Kenya Kwanza government, and of course, so he has been supporting the government for a long time, and he is one of the close members to president. What do you think that? He is betraying the mountain? Because from the conversation I've been following is that they're saying he betrayed the Mount Kenya region. Kimani Ichung'Wah, he has been called as the betrayer. That is why I played that video.
I said the other day, when you asked the same question about somebody being a betrayer, because in politics there's nothing like a betrayer, but there is, self-preservation and serving self-interest. He's doing what he's doing. He has not betrayed anyone. Hakuandikana na mtu contract that he will only go where Gachagua goes. He hasn't broken any binding agreement. Maybe there could be some oath, I don't know. But I in politics, I don't believe the term betrayer applies by any measure. But with that said, whatever he's doing, what they are saying is wrong by far. Okay? Because a bonus in a business setting, a bonus is earned if the business entity is profitable enough where they have beat their target profit margins, they have a surplus of income of sorts, then they can give their investors, bonuses. We all know all the sugar factories in this country are loss-making enterprises. None of them is profitable. So where did the government get the money to pay these bonuses? Those companies, Mumias, all of those they were just bailed out by the former president just the other day. Why are they so all of a sudden profitable to a point where they can give bonuses? The problem is that the bonuses, we need to really interrogate where is the money coming from to pay these bonuses. That is from a practical business, audit and query. But we know that this is politics. So what they are doing is they are creating the perception in the minds of Mumias farmers, and that's why he keeps talking about Mumias. He keeps talking about farmers, right? Because he knows that's an agricultural area. Once the customers feel good, the farmers feel that feel good that they are also impacting the economy, and they're even getting some money back from the government in terms of bonuses. Over time, they will start seeing the government of the day as a good thing. Yeah, and that is politics 101. He's still softening their hearts and their minds pole pole. By the time wanafika campaign, those are the things we'll point out. We've been given bonuses of XYZ. Wacha turudi tunaenda kufanya kazi. Now the bonuses hazitakuwa zile tulikuwa tunawapatia, we are going to double them. What do you think is going to happen? So they are playing politics with it. As much as it's wrong practically from a business standpoint, you cannot justify where the money came from for the bonuses, but for politically, it's a masterstroke. And he will do it across the country. And he has enough time to do all that.
Yes, that is Jeremiah. Jeremiah really doesn't like this word of betrayal. But he also, when Jesus was arrested, he was betrayed by Judas Iscariot. So we are withdrawing this word from the Bible. Jeremiah. Si pia kwa Biblia tunaweza tukadodoa.
The Jesus scenario and politics are two. Jesus scenario was not politics. Mimi nasema itoke kwa politics. Politics betrayal doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't apply.
Awesome, in the comment section there, I can see you are very active. You think that, why Kenyans is asking? Kenyans don't ask difficult questions. The bonuses is a good thing already, and most of the farmers are happy. That is in the comment section there, and also someone is saying that, sure, where did the unga dollar thing went to? Kenya is a country you can please everyone. It's very difficult. And also Asili is asking, where have we seen Gachagua vote? We keep hearing from people like Buru. That is a question. And also Awosam is saying, who will even allow Gachagua to consolidate Western and Nyanza? It will be very difficult. Gachagua will be tear gassed. That is the comment section there. Continue also keeping the comment section there in Africa 24 very active, because that is where you can also join this wonderful conversation every day here in Africa 24. If you are following us here for the first time, remember to subscribe to Africa 24 YouTube channel, and every day we have the political discussion whereby we give you this platform to talk to other Kenyans directly and share your ideas and views. We have Esther Esimungai. Esther Esimungai, welcome to Africa 24. Of course, you are a frequent guest here, and I just want to ask you a question. Do you think that Kimani Ichung'Wah has betrayed the mountain?
Kimani, just a minute. I just borrowed another phone because the other one was misbehaving. So I'm the one in that account. This is Jeff.
Okay. So we are saying that even Jesus was betrayed by Judas Iscariot, but Jeremiah does not like that word. Jeff, do you believe that Kimani Ichung'Wah has betrayed the mountain? Because he's the only person from the mountain who is supporting the government.
You see what was going on, Kimanzi. It is not that Kimani Ichung'Wah intention was to betray Mount Kenya. For him, he thought by putting down Gachagua, he was going to become great. He was fighting to be seen as the kingpin in Mount Kenya. But it backfired in a very bad way, to the extent that even him being re-elected as an MP in 2027, in Gikuyu or Kikuyu constituency, it will be very hard. So all those leaders who were fighting Gachagua, they thought that they would become great. And that happens in our country, Kenya, that we think that by putting others down, we are likely to occupy their position, or we are likely to become more popular. But this one, I can tell you for sure, they did a serious miscalculation, and it has backfired in a very bad way, especially to Kimani Ichung'Wah. because in Central Kenya, right now, he doesn't even have the confidence to hold his rallies. We only see him talk in Western Kenya. And you know how much people of Central Kenya had embraced Kimani Ichung'Wah. He has already lost his glory in his backyard. There was something I wanted to respond to before the phone started to misbehave. Somebody talked about how other people feel about Mount Kenya. I think that was Jeremiah or Alex. I can't remember who was that. That they feel that like we behave or we act as if we have the entitlement. But I want to tell you, when it comes to voting, when the votes are being counted, they are not being counted as the votes. This one is from a Kikuyu person. This one is from a Luo. A vote is a vote. So as a good politician, you use any method or any strategy to win the elections. And the one with the best strategy always wins. And that is what I'm saying, that it's not about how other people feel about Mount Kenya. It is not about whether we have the entitlement or not. That feeling is just in the mind of those who don't understand us. But what I know is that there is no mistake that the people of Mount Kenya make by voting the way they vote, because it's a democratic right. I know sometimes people may have some feeling because maybe the people who have been presidents, most of them have come from the region. But if the constitution has not been changed, nobody should feel bad about it, because I see people from other regions making coalitions with the people of Mount Kenya to form the government. So there has never been a government of the people of Mount Kenya alone. So they win and form the government as a coalition in most cases, which also is likely to happen in 2027. And also, I want to say that, just a minute, that William Ruto in Central Kenya, because Jeremiah has said that he requires only 30% from Central Kenya. As it is right now, even getting 5% is very hard. So where is he going to get this 30% from Central Kenya? If Uhuru Kenyatta, with all his popularity, his money, and being in the government, having the system and the deep state, tried very hard to get some votes for Raila Odinga, and you saw what he got. And remember that most of the votes he got in Central Kenya, it is because there are also people from other regions in Central Kenya. So if you remove the votes from other regions in Central Kenya, you see that even Raila Odinga, the margin that he got in Central Kenya was very minimal. So without Uhuru Kenyatta, without Gachagua, I'm just wondering where William Ruto is going to get the 30%. People like the Kagwes, Kabogos, the Lee Kinyanjuis, Mwangi wa Iria, Kionjoris, and Mungiki leader, Maina Jenga, I can tell you for sure, those are political rejects in the region. There is no way they will be able to get the votes that William Ruto is hoping to get in Mount Kenya. And I have told you before that we had people who were embraced more than Gachagua in Central Kenya. But one slight mistake, they became political rejects. Think of someone like the Nobel Prize winner, Wangari Maathai. She was loved. People supported her. But the moment she disagreed with the former president, Mwai Kibaki, she was never re-elected again. The same case with Mother Karua. The same case, Mwangi Kejori was almost coming back by supporting Ruto when everybody else in the region was supporting Ruto. But he has also made the same mistake. There was a time Mwangi Kejori was very popular. He has never gone back to his rightful position because of differing or not having a stand to support the person that the people perceive as their kingpin or as their leader. So I just want to tell you, for you to understand Mount Kenya, you must know how they do things and how they vote. And I can tell you, as someone who has been there and following the politics, Ruto cannot get more than 10% in central Kenya. And we're going to be here in this show. And I will tell you in 2027. Remember, I was here even before the 2022 elections. There are things I spoke, and I never got ashamed. I told the people are saying that Raila Odinga was going to get half of the votes in Mount Kenya. I said it's a big lie. The crowd was saying different. And the reflection was shown after the elections. You have said that, I think it was Jeremiah or Alex, sorry, my phone was misbehaving, that William Ruto, there is no way he can fail to win the 2027 elections, bearing in fact that he is the incumbent. And I want to ask you, what is he having special than what Uhuru Kenyatta was having in Raila Odinga? Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta had even the international support. Uhuru Kenyatta is one of the richest people, not just in Kenya or Africa, but in the world. Uhuru Kenyatta had everything just like William Ruto. But through the power of the people, the person he was supporting was defeated. It is going to be the same. If William Ruto will not have enough votes, I know he will try many strategies, but the will of the people will prevail. So people have been saying that Gachagua has no people. Gachagua does not have followers. I was here in this show when I said that William Ruto was badly mistaken. Today I have heard that even you who are saying he had no people are beginning to accept that this is a mobilizer, that he has many people behind him. And even William Ruto knows that he made a miscalculation. That is why he has brought so many people from central Kenya, thinking that there is something he can do to remain with the support that he was having. Right now we have over maybe 8 or more cabinet secretaries from the region, but people don't feel them. People don't care what they say. People don't care whether they are cabinet secretaries or not, because of the humiliation that the president showed to the former deputy president. So therefore, and also remember, even the international community has started to stop supporting William Ruto because of the abductions, the killings, and also because of being ranked the second most corrupt leader in the whole world, not in Africa. This is someone who has lost favor. The favor is gone. William Ruto, even, I know he's just hoping for a miracle, but he knows that the favor is not there. As I conclude, I would like to say this. Without Baba in the ballot, the people of Nyanza will not be motivated to vote as they usually do. Most of them will prefer to go for fishing if Baba will not be in the ballot, or unless we get someone from the same region who has the vigor and the charisma like Baba, it will be very hard for him to get the same support that Baba has been getting in that region. So therefore, his re-election is on the balance. People, even himself, is not very sure if he is going to win because he has made serious miscalculations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeff Buru. And Jeremiah, as we conclude, do you have something to respond to what Mr. Jeff Buru said? Yes, Jeremiah. Alex, as we conclude, as we come to the end of the show, yes, do you have something to conclude from what Buru said?
Bonnie, I don't want to say much. I'm happy to see Mburu on the show. I hope to see you more often. Thank you for the wonderful submission. Also, thank you to Jeremiah Omondi, who is not there. And I hope we can break down more topics apart from the politics. We can break down the healthcare, we can break down the education, the entertainment. There are so many things. So I'm hoping to see you guys more often. And probably we can grow the show. If people are watching from Mutembei, kindly consider subscribing to Afrik. We build the community, and God bless the panelists and Bonnie. Thank you.